Okay.
I think it's gonna make that noise.
No problem. Hey, ladies, beautiful soul. Welcome to this awesome evening that we have planned today. As we posted everywhere, we are having a vision board party today. I'm just so excited. So excited. I am actually at a new location, as you can see. Beautiful. I'm not going to tell you where we are, just for privacy purposes, but it is beautiful. Can you see this? Beautiful. And Sonia and I came together at the same place just for our show tonight. So I'm going to start talking about that. So we're diving into the significance of a trauma-informed goal setting in our healing journey. You know, as we navigate life after experiencing challenging times, setting goals becomes a powerful tool for reclaiming control and shaping a future that aligns with your aspirations. I just want you to know, here in our safe and supportive space, we emphasize a trauma-informed approach to goal setting. You heard it right. This is not just traditional goal setting. This is trauma-informed goal setting, because for people who experience trauma, it affects our ability to move forward because of the messages that we receive from that traumatic situation and how it affects us physically. It causes us to procrastinate and self-sabotage. So if you're someone who had that experience or having that experience and you want to know how to get past that so you can reach your goals, stay tuned. Stay tuned, because it's time to begin to present our choices that we have, and we do have choices. We don't have to stay stuck. We need to begin to recognize those triggers and at the same time create an environment of empathy and understanding, because we operate differently if you experience trauma, right? So I just want you to remember that this space respects and celebrates your unique journey. So let's dive into this experience with courage and kindness, creating vision boards. Yes, today's our vision board party that inspires towards a future filled with hope and authenticity. And what I mean by authenticity, our real self. You know, that purpose that you've been carrying around for years, but have not been quite able to reach it. Yet that one. We're gonna begin to talk about that, and we're gonna put it on our vision board. You know, I wanted to inspire us to move to our future with hope. You know, let's journey together. Let's support one another's growth and celebrating each step towards our individual visions, because we all have that. You know, we all have that vision of empowerment and healing, but we need to begin to do it free from judgment. Before we move on to get started, I want to send it over to Trauma Addiction Recovery Coach Sonia, who's going to share the housekeeping and then introduce herself. And then I'll come back and introduce myself. Sonia?
Sorry about that. I was
You
muted.
go.
I want to say hi to everyone that is tuning in tonight to our Women's Work Talk Show. This is She's Taking Her Life Back, our YouTube live. Remember, ladies, I want to welcome everybody, and I want you all to know that this is not just a show. This is an interactive experience, and your active participation is in the heart of it. So here's how you can join in. I am Trauma Addiction Recovery Coach Sonia, and I will be actively monitoring the comment section. So the followings are the ways you can participate. I hope to see you in the comments. So remember, if you're tuning in our live, please send us a message. Please let us know where you're tuning in from.
Mhm.
If we can't see your name, that means that you're logged in through our Facebook page. So please go into the YouTube. Take a minute to go into YouTube, find us, subscribe, so we can see your name in the comment section. Okay. So second, we're gonna have the opening and welcome, which is right now. We have the opening and welcome. So if you're tuning in, like I say hello in our live chat. Let us know where you're tuning
Yes,
in
hello.
from. We're gonna have a segment where we're gonna have a question and answer segment. Natalie might come up with a question while we're doing the trauma. What you call? I'm
The
sorry,
vision board.
vision board. While we're doing the vision board. So if we ask a question about your goal settings, what's your plan? So be ready for that question. This is your moment to shine. Ask any questions, share your thoughts, and provide insights in the live chat. Our team is here to engage with you. We want your input. We would also be having announcements, so stay tuned for exciting news and updates. We are trying to build a community here, so you are an integral part of it. Remember, we will be sharing resources and tips. We'll provide valuable worksheets, tips, information related to our discussion from tonight. So if you find this video description on our website, also don't hesitate to use the tools and enhance your understanding and personal growth. Remember, this is not just for us, ladies. This is for everyone out there to benefit from these tools and these techniques. Let's do this vision board for 2024 together. So now, let me tell you all before I introduce myself that this is if you like to join our live, ladies, and you want to ask any questions, just let us know in the comments below and we will
Yes,
try our best. I do know that we are having a guest. Hopefully we're having a guest coming and sharing her vision board tonight with us.
yes, yes,
So we are waiting on a guest. So stay tuned. Do not leave do not leave this live tonight because it's going to get very exciting. We do have a guest coming and sharing her vision board with us and letting us know a little bit more about what are her goals and was she able to fulfill any of her goals from 2023 as well. So let's engage, interact, and learn. Let's make this enriching experience together. Your questions and insights matter, and your journey is our inspiration. So again, I am trauma addiction recovery coach Sonia. Um, I help women who have experienced addiction as a trauma response. I help them overcome various, as my own personal experience of overcoming various traumas and navigating the challenging path of recovery. I am dedicated to helping other women with similar situations and committed to provide a safe and supporting space for my coaching clients to heal and grow. I do not treat addiction directly, but instead I provide tools and techniques to help my coaching clients to develop resilience and self-care practices that support their overall well-being. I also help develop strategies for managing triggers and building positive coping mechanisms. So I focus on empowering my clients to live a healthy and fulfilling life beyond addiction. Thank
yes. Awesome, awesome. Thank you for sharing about yourself, Sonia. And just to share a little bit about me, my name is Natalie Mang. Excuse me. I am the CEO and founder of She's Taking a Life Back. And just real quickly, I just want to share the reason why I founded this organization. Basically, I founded this organization based on my experience of trauma, also my experience of the journey of healing from my trauma. And I said to myself that I wanted to make sure that I share with other women how they too can go through that journey and that we no longer have to be stuck looking out of our eyes from our trauma experiences, because those are the things that get us stuck when we don't change our mindset, right? Even though we leave those situations. So from there, I started She's Taking a Life Back. But beyond that, I'm also bringing a wealth of experience because I've been counseling for 32 years. But I decided about a couple of years ago that I wanted to transition to be able to reach more women. So we have other goals for She's Taking Life Back. I have other goals for my life. And today you're gonna find out some of them because today's our vision board party, right? So after we started She's Taking a Life Back, which is designed to really speak to different women around the world through our speaking engagements, as well as now through our coaching programs, helping women one-to-one and on the group level, right? But today, I want to be able to get to know us even more because I want you to know what our purpose is, what our vision is for our life. So Sonia and I, we are participating. Actually, I just want to stop and say again, I'm in a new environment. So if you see me moving around, trying to figure stuff out, it's because I'm in a new environment. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful, right? But Sonia, as I was looking around, I noticed like, where did my board go? The box going.
I think it's right there by the chair. You see by the kitchen chair.
By the kitchen chair.
Yeah, there's the wall right there. It should
Okay,
be
got it. You
see, ladies, let me explain something. Me and Natalie decided to have a vision board party. So we're in the same house,
Yes.
but since we couldn't, we both, as soon as we logged in, you know, when you have a phone here and a phone here, it starts making that weird noise. So I
Hmm.
had to come downstairs, and Natalie is out there in the living room. So we is
Yes.
right here. So if you see me popping up over there by Natalie, that means we're
Yeah.
the same. We're just in different areas of the house. So yes,
Yes.
we try to make this party like we're trying to
There
have
you go. Yes. Yes.
provide all
Yes.
the
Yes.
information, provide all the information, provide y'all with all the tools, talk about 2024 goal settings
Yes.
and
Yes.
everything. And we apologize. Natalie, I don't know if you're able to put the title on your side. It wouldn't allow me on my
Okay.
end. And when I try to do it through my other application, it would sign me up again on the screen. So
No worries. We do have a longer title. I don't access it to right now, but what we've been doing, Sonia and I, we decided when we got towards the end of December, we wanted to come into the new year helping you craft goals. But you know, people talk about the traditional goal setting, but what we wanted to do, again, we wanted to do something different. We wanted to make sure the goals that we were speaking to were based on women who experienced trauma and needing to understand that when you start creating goals for women who experience trauma, there needs to be trauma informed goal. And I'm going to talk to you about that in a few minutes, why that's so important. But I want you to take the time to think about it. If you're someone who experienced trauma, even if it happened years ago and you've been trying to reach a certain goal and you've been getting stuck, you've been procrastinating, you've been self-sabotaging, and you just not been able to get to that goal, we want you to tune in and just consider the fact, and maybe because of there is some unhealed trauma that have been going on. And a lot of times, you know, people are not aware of how their past trauma can still affect their lives. Like, for example, for me, I'm a woman who experienced different traumas. The trauma of me being raised as a daddyless daughter, the trauma of me being sexually assaulted as a child, the trauma of me going through all these domestic violence relationships happened years ago. However, they still had an impact on my life. And where I began to recognize that is, again, when I wasn't able to achieve goals. You know, believe me, I've achieved a lot of goals in my counseling experience, but when it came to my purpose, my big, that thing I had inside of me says, this is what you're supposed to be doing. This is what God created you to do. When it came to that one, I was procrastinating. I was sabotaging. I was making up excuses how I didn't have any time. I was going through all that, but then I became so frustrated. I started to look at other avenues. And then I recognized that there was some trauma that was still impacting my life. Still some trauma. So I invite you to stay tuned, particularly today. I hope that if you're tuning in, or even if you're watching the replay, you grab your vision board and let's get started on January with these goals together. And let's start looking at it from a traumatic perspective. And maybe there's still some trauma experiences and some trauma responses that you are still going through that's stopping you. Just be open. Just be open. But in the meantime, because we're in this different space and my vision board is over there, I'm going to run over there in 2 seconds and I'm going to go grab the board. While I do that, Sonia, if you if something you want to share while we
um,
get set up, I'll be right back,
if you
ladies.
want me to discuss a little bit about the trauma informed goal settings.
Sure.
Okay. Well, just know I'm going to talk about it, so I don't want you to go back and say I skipped or jumped something. I'm excited about this, because Natalie was speaking about what is the difference between traditional, you know, building a traditional vision board and trauma informed vision board, right? So when we speaking about this, we acknowledge that that individuals with trauma history ensure that the content selected for the board doesn't trigger or re-traumatizes the creator. So I want to tell you a little bit about this because it's a difference. Sometimes we create a vision board and we put these goals that really like I used to do this before. I used to take a class and they'll be like, okay, let's do a vision board for what are your goals, which you and I one of my that I always used to do, and that's because you know I was younger and I used to put lose weight because everybody when they're young they want to be skinny like everybody have that cheerleader body, but it never worked out. Trust me, not because I couldn't do it, but because I didn't put myself into doing it and achieving the goal. I would put it down. It look right there on my vision board. Oh, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna this year I'm gonna be on sports, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna be in basketball. But then what happened? Oh, my grades were a little bit, or maybe I was hanging around with friends. I didn't put myself into, and it's not because, like Natalie talks about post trauma, and I'm gonna be honest. At my young age, I've heard so much in my house about how I wasn't good about a lot of stuff. So when I was in school, I was afraid of failing. I was in sports and I was really good, but when it was something more, I was afraid of failure, Natalie. I was afraid of, not being good enough like the other one. So I had to over push myself. I had to over push myself. And I really wasn't putting the focus on pursuing my goals.
Yeah.
I really wasn't doing the work, as in following through. Okay, what am I trying to do? Am I trying to if we're talking about I want to get in shape, I want to drink water and be healthy, and we're talking about, am I trying to drink water? Am I putting a schedule? Am I grabbing that bottle, or if I'm grabbing something else? It was always, if we don't put our minds to it and we just put it on paper, it's not going to work out.
Right. But even too, Sonia, even if we put our minds to it, it may not work out. And that's what we want to talk about today, because the mind that we saying put to it is still have beliefs. It still have that experience of the trauma that happened in the past. And impacts your ability to go forward. And we're going to talk more about that today. And thank you for being transparent, Sonia. And I want to add, and I'm very transparent. I'm parent. Anybody that knows me, if you listen to any of the videos or see me on any lives over the last several years, I'm real open with my experiences, because I know there are women out there who can't do the same, but I wanted them to understand that they're not alone. And I also want them to understand that there's a way out. There's a journey out. And me showing the journey out through me being transparent, as well as Sonia, if that can help you, that's what we're about. We're helping you take your life back, right? So talking about transparency, I share that I'm in therapy, right? And I come from a therapy family. My mother was a psychotherapist. I'm a counselor. My uncle, we come from a therapeutic family, not only as professionals, but women and men who have experienced the journey of actually sitting in front of a therapist or sitting in front of someone that's qualified to help. So in my family, we're real comfortable with that. But I know that other people's family is not. So as I was going through this journey of therapy, in and out, not consistently for all these years, but when I felt the need for it, I would go back in. So this last time, what made me go back into therapy, and I go to EMDR therapy, which is designed specifically for people who experience trauma. The reason why I decided to go into it, because like my therapist asked me today, just doing some exploring, the goal that I want to achieve, he asked me, is it because I don't have the ability to do it? And I was like, no. Having the ability, and I'm sharing this because, ladies, if you're watching, you may be able to identify this. My ability to do what I want to do, and I'm going to tell you what my ultimate purpose is, which is to become an international speaker, speaking around the world, sharing with other women that this is the way out, that change is possible, right? So I haven't gotten to that place. And there were some things I needed to do, because I also have a coach. You can't take yourself anywhere you have not been. Please know that. Let me repeat that again. You cannot take yourself anywhere you have not been yourself. You need somebody else as a guide, right? As a result of that, you know what? I was not doing things. I wasn't writing my book, because my coach said, if you want to be an international speaker, you got to have a book. You got to have a book. You got to have a website. You got to have all those things in place. He said, do not speak anywhere until you have those things in place, right? So my ability to speak, number one, is not an issue. Not an issue at all. I love speaking. I can get real dramatic, because I'm that type of person. I'm going to hear somebody speak, I don't want to fall asleep. So I've always was that very dramatic person, because I wanted to be the person I wanted to see. So that wasn't an issue. Like having the knowledge of what I should speak about definitely wasn't an issue. I've been in the field of counseling through addictions, anger management, so a lot of other stuff for 32 years. So that wasn't an issue. I've been through so many trainings. I got so many certifications. Even when I moved into coaching, got certifications for as a trauma coach, certification for REBT coach, and so many certifications I got. So that wasn't an issue. So it wasn't my inability to speak. It wasn't me not knowing what to say. It wasn't any of that. And that got me so frustrated because I'm like, what is going on? Have you seen, ladies, that someone you're looking at, whatever a field is in, and you're looking at that person and you're telling yourself, I know I could do that job. Matter of fact, I can do it better. Yet that person is doing it and we're sitting on the sidelines.
Mm-hmm.
That was my experience. So I said to myself, I have to sit before professionals who know better than me to try to figure this out. I already knew that I experienced trauma and I knew it had an effect on my life, but I've been making a lot of progress in my other career. But this one, I couldn't help myself. So that's when I decided to go back into a EMDR therapist because I knew it had to do with my trauma. Right. So he began to ask the questions. It wasn't that. See, what it was some area of my life, because I did a whole lot of healing over the 32 years, 35 years, in terms of my personal journey of recovery. I tell Sonia, I always forget when I lose my train of thought.
Yes, you do. It always comes back as soon as you
come back. But I couldn't get there. That's what it was. I couldn't get there myself. It was frustrating. And I hated seeing people that I knew that I could do a better job or just as good a job start flourishing in their career as a speaker. And I'm sitting again on the sidelines. Can you identify with that?
Yeah.
That's when I said, you know what? Did a lot of work, but we're going back. We're going back to these professionals. So as a result of me going back and doing some healing work, I shared this, and you're going to hear a lot more about this year. I don't talk about it enough, but you're going to hear a lot about it. I finally wrote my first book. Finally. And it's called What About Me? Healing the Whole of a Soul of a Daddyless Daughter. Because I recognized that was my first trauma. And it was so difficult writing that book because this was the first, although I talked about my traumas for the last 30 some odd years, I've talked about it in front of conventions, in front of hundreds of people. That wasn't an issue. But I recognized writing that book was the first time that I laid my traumatic experiences out in its real detail, y'all, all out in one place. So I had to focus on my trauma over and over again as I was writing. And I recognized there was some healing that I still needed to do. Again, once I did that, the book came out in 2023. And you're going to hear more about it. Yes. What About Me? Healing the Soul. And What About Me is about, what about me? You forgot about me. Mm-hmm. And we'll talk about that on another show. So that's the reason why I had to go in front of professionals. But I also know, particularly with the African American community and people of color too, that we don't do therapy a lot. We don't our families would tell us go to church. Thank God my mother didn't do that. But my grandmother, her mother before her was you go to church, which really didn't work. Because come on, ladies, when we sit in the pew, we go into church. Do we really raise our hand in the middle of a church service and say, I have a problem. I'm experiencing domestic violence. Mm-hmm. I have, my thinking is not right. Do we really go to church and say that? So how much can church really help us? Unless you going and joining, because there are some churches that are real forward thinkers, and they have different ministries that will help you. And the people in the ministry, a lot of times, are therapists and they're professionals. But not a lot of churches do that. A lot of churches just pretty much says, go read a scripture. So because I know that there are women out there who are not going to subscribe to therapists, that's why I opened the door for coaching. Mm-hmm. That's why I said this is the time to let me help coach them, because we don't want to lose women because they don't want to go to therapy. And we understand the reason why, because it's stigma and judgment. So we wanted to create this coaching program. Somebody's in the comment section. So you see that? I see somebody in the comment.
I put a comment welcoming because I seen somebody was there, but they didn't put. So I was like welcoming them to share their name and let us know where they joining. Because I see some people joining in. I just ain't seen no comments. So I'm trying to let you all know. If you are in our live chat, if you are following us and watching us through our YouTube channel, go to the comment section and say, "Hey, I'm right here. We're just tuning in. We're watching the live." But let us know that you're tuning in. Let us know your name. If you don't want to put down your name, just let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know where you following us from, okay? So let's feel the community. Let's feel the community. Just send a little waving in. Let us know you're here. You're watching.
Yes, let us know. Thank you for saying this, Sonia. Let us know. And we're coming from Atlanta, Georgia. That's where Sonia and I are. So I want to talk more about, what is the difference between setting traditional goals and setting trauma-informed goals? What's the difference? And as I go into it, I'm going to try to multitask. I want to take out my supplies. Sonia, you ready with your supplies?
No.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. But
okay, that's okay. Like I said, those who are watching, we are in a totally different setting. So you may get up and down and all of that, but that's okay. We're still going to
say this. Natalie is going to create the vision board. Very sadly, I was at work today all day. I ran here after work and I didn't bring my vision board with me. I brought all my magazines. I have my scissors. I have my clothes. I have my laptop. And I did not bring my vision board from home. And I apologize. But on my next live, when we're going to be talking more about trauma, we always speak about trauma and the importance and what's it going to be, Natalie? I need to remember.
We're gonna next show is about. Know what? Let's wait to the end to show them.
Yeah. So when I'm going to speak next time, I'll share my vision board with you all. But I truly apologize. I just.
Right. However, because we don't let people off the hook, not even our team. Sonia can share what are some of her goals for 2024. She can verbalize it as we go along.
Absolutely.
But I brought my material, and those who know me, and if you don't know me, you'll get to know me. I'm like the queen of extra, right? I'm just extra, and I'm okay with me being extra. Years ago, that bothered me, and I kept that a secret. I'm okay with being extra. And I say that because I went out to Amazon and had this board delivered. Look, y'all. Look.
Yeah.
Extra. Look, y'all. That's my blank board. And we're not finished yet. Just extra. Like when you put it together, ladies, and I'm going to put it together, they also have this little banner. So you stand it up and you can put like a heading right here. And I'm going to do that. And I'm not going to actually finalize it here tonight, but I wanted to get it started. And I wanted to show you ladies that everything that we talk about sharing with ladies to do, believe me, behind the scenes, we're doing the work ourselves.
Absolutely.
We have team vision goals and we have individual goals. So if you didn't see our New Year's celebration, Sonia and I had our family on there, and we also shared our goals that we accomplished in 2023, and we shared some goals that we're going to work on and accomplish in 2024. So check out that video. It's on our channel. So I have my vision board. And then I'm going to jump into what we're going to talk about. I got my dots because I didn't want to get in here and get tape and have to tape. So I got like these little dots, y'all. Mm-hmm. Right? So they on a roll. Look, I'm so extra and anal. Like it took me like 3, 4, 5 minutes to figure out which one I wanted. So they have these little dots so I could just stick them on stuff. Right? Mm-hmm. So I'm ready with that. What I don't have is scissors, Sonia. That's what I need.
I think I left some. If they're not on the table, I'll come and give them to you right now. I know I had a pair of scissors up there, but okay. Let me see. I'm coming up there.
Okay, no worries. Again, Sonia and I in the same place. We decided to come to this house just for the vision board party, because we wanted to do it together as opposed to being on our lives separately like we do every week. But not only that, guys. I went on Amazon and I looked for, because I don't have that magazines anymore. Sonia has a whole stack over here.
But they're different, so I don't know which one. I told you about the magazines and I need to bring my picture.
Look. Sonia has a whole stack of magazines. Look.
Which
look,
ones do y'all want?
look. She got a whole stack.
I
Look,
was just missing the one with the. I wanted one with the boat because I want to go on a cruise or airplane. So like I said, I want to fly out of the country.
No, I got one for you. I got something in there for you. So, having said that, I wanted to share what I got. I don't do magazines anymore. I just don't do. I don't know. I stopped doing it. I used to always do it for years, and even when I did the vision boards before. But I went on Amazon and I got this clip art book. And what is cool about it is that it's a vision board clip art for Black women. And I wanted, because I didn't want to, and that's just me. I just wanted my vision board to reflect my authentic self. But I didn't want to grab any other pictures that didn't represent me. I just didn't want to. That's just my choice. So I bought this book, Vision Board Clip Art for Black Women. And they have it for other ethnicities as well. So if you're like anal like me, you want to grab it, go on Amazon. And I think it costs like $11, $12, I think. And what's good about it is that it's sectioned into different topics. Like one is abundance. Look, y'all even have a millionaire. Look, they made that for me. They made that for me.
Yeah.
That one for me. Real talk. Not only that, they have it for success, whatever kind of success you're trying to achieve. They have it if you want to be a boss, things you can cut out and put on your vision board. This is what this is. They have one about people who want to get a certain job, a new job. They have people who want to get a promotion on their job. You want a salary increase. They got clippings for this. Love, definitely going on my board. I'm trying to find not trying to. I don't want to use that.
You are going to.
I'm going to find my Mr. Right. At least start dating, at least that. And married, definitely won't be in 2024, but that will be in my future, not this year. Pregnant, you can skip that. Whether you know it or not, you can skip that, ain't happening. Whether you know it or not, I'm 61, that ain't happening. Unless God coming down to do a married thing, but even if he does, I'm like, you know what? We gonna leave this at the church. I have grandchildren. I'm not interested in having any more. Have a baby, we skipping that. We're not doing that. Family comes first, definitely. Like I have daughters and I have grandchildren, and they are so important in my life. And I'll tell you more about that. I just want to show you different things. This is about friendships. This one definitely is me. Plant-based food. I'm a pescatarian. Healthy habits. So I'm gonna stop there. But this book has different sections, and you just get a scissor and clip out whatever one stands out to you, and you put it on your board. If you created a vision board before, can you put it in the chat? Let us know. Do you have any suggestions?
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Sonia. Sonia came down and brought my scissors. So thank you. So now I want to go back to talking about the difference between traditional goals and trauma-informed goals. I want you to understand why we are doing this. So important, right? So what is the difference? A traditional vision board, it just typically focuses on your aspirations, your goals, your desires, and it doesn't consider any impact of past trauma. It just tells you to name your goal. Like Sonia said, some people's goal is to lose weight. Some goal is to travel. We all know the name of the goals, but that's all it considers. What is the goal you wanted to achieve? But when we talk about trauma-informed vision boards, it is completely different, because as you're creating your goals, we are going to show you and we want to share with you the importance of considering your past trauma as you create these goals. And we're going to go into telling you why specifically, but it's considering your trauma, right? Matter of fact, I'll just briefly reflect back to what I just said, or what Sonia said. Even though I was well able to achieve the goal of writing my book, nothing was stopping me, right? A wealth of information in my head, but it was my trauma inside of me. There was still something in the back of my head, even after years of doing some healing, that still wanted to hold me back from moving forward, and had everything to do with the sense of safety. And again, I'll go through that and maybe at another time. But I recognized what that was. And my therapist and I, we worked on it a great deal, to the point that I began to feel more safer, to the point where it's like, it doesn't affect me to go out there and look for Mr. Right to date, because I know this time, I know that I can take care of me. I have learned the signs. I know when to say this is not the one, and not stay and try to fix stuff. To say this is not the one, we're out. Because there's nothing that we can do to stop us from inviting unknowingly Mr. Wrong in our life, but we can certainly say, you're not the one, goodbye. If you were like me, I stayed and I stayed and I stayed and I stayed, right? So again, when we do these trauma-informed goals, we want to consider it, because if we don't consider our traumas, we're never going to know, like, how is this trauma stopping me? Right? And then as coaches, Sonia and I will help you connect to the fact that that trauma response is the thing that's stopping you from reaching your goal. That trauma of the past is causing you to do A, B, C, or D, and that's the reason why you can't get to your goal. Does that make a little bit of sense?
Yes.
Does it? Yeah. So again, it acknowledges and respects the individual's trauma history, and ensures that the content you selected for the board doesn't trigger or re-traumatize you. I want to say it again. It may not make sense to you, but here as coaches, we're here to explain to you. Remember I said, keep an open mind. Your goal that you choose, even if it's a positive goal, even if it's just awesome goal, amazing goal, it can trigger you. It can trigger you. And that trigger can lead to self-sabotage. Does that make sense? If it does, just put yes in the chat. You don't have to, share your whole story. Just say, yes, that makes sense. If it gives you some form of clarity.
Absolutely.
Right? Because every time I thought about completing my book and I was getting closer and closer to the book, it triggered a sense of an anxiety. And that anxiety was triggering based on my fear. Because every time that I would accomplish stuff, with a couple of reasons, that meant that I was alone. Like everybody around me wasn't on board with what I wanted to do when I was younger. And I would, go after stuff. I would accomplish stuff even as a young girl. But then I began to notice that there was nobody around, not only going in the same direction, because I was always a high achiever. I didn't have that parents that was supporting me because they were going through their own issues. So all I kept looking around is like, what about me? Who's with me? And slowly but surely, becoming loved and wanted and needed was more important than my goals. Even as I was past all my trauma experience as an adult, again, let's go back to the book. That, and it happens subconsciously. Let me just say this. It happens subconsciously, meaning it doesn't happen in ways that you are aware of it. Again, that's why you need professionals to point out that that's the area where your trauma is affecting. That area right there, because you yourself may not see it. You'll just think it's a normal way that you act. And it'll come out with excuses, like Sonia said last week. I'm too busy. I don't have time for that. I'm a mother. I work a full-time job. I'm tired. I don't have enough money. We will come with all those excuses, and that's the way our trauma responses happen. And those excuses that we come up, and this is the thing, the excuses that we come up makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. I worked all day. I work 9 to 5. Who got time to come home and do some other stuff? I'm tired. I have children. Those are all honestly trauma responses, because guess what? We got Sonia, my coach right here. Sonia works full time as an assistant manager, right? Yeah. She also has a 3-year-old?
2-year-old. He's 2 and 8 months.
2 and 8 months. 2.5-year-old. She has a husband. She comes home and cook, and she's taking her life back. There
If
is
you
no.
would have asked me 4 years ago, I would have said, I can't do it. I'm tired. That was
Yeah.
me. My procrastination and my self-sabotage would tell me I cannot do nothing else than what I'm just
Yes.
supposed to do, which is the minimum. That's what I deserve, and that's as much. I'm an employee. I'm tired from work. I come home, and I didn't have a child before this. And I'm telling you, before my child, I would tell myself, I'm tired. I'll do it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was gonna do it today. I'll do it on my day off.
Yes.
On my day off, I was too tired because it's my day off. Now it's my time to rest.
Yes.
And you know what? All that changed when she's taking her life back, learning about my self sabotage, learning about my self limited beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
breaking that cycle that you believe and you grown into believing that you
Yes.
can do it and you're not good enough. And this is as much and as far as you're gonna get. We're gonna break
Yes.
the barrier. We gotta break that barrier. Don't let nobody tell you how far you can get in life and what you can achieve and what you deserve and you don't deserve, because
Yes.
we deserve everything, but we have to put the word. We can't just say I deserve it, I'm gonna sit here and it's gonna come to me, because it ain't gonna happen like that either.
Right. Or we can't say, you know what, this is the goal I want to achieve, and it just happened. It's not gonna
Yes,
happen that
it's
way.
not. It's not. So
It's
that's why
not.
we're here to coach you, like Natalie says. We're here to coach you and guide you and provide you with them tools and everything that you need, equip you to live a fulfilled life beyond anything, beyond self-limited beliefs, self-sabotage. um
Yes.
Even though after we move, like Natalie said, Natalie, and you left me thinking right now, you were mentioning about past traumas. It's crazy because being in a healthy relationship as I am, I love my husband. That's my best friend. When people ask me, I say that's my best friend. That's
Mm.
why I can talk to him about anything, my problems. I can cry on his shoulder. I can even try to self-sabotage, and he's gonna tell me why you can't do it. And he makes me mad sometimes because I want him to be understanding, but he's gonna be honest with me. So he's also my accountability partner, because
Mm.
he's gonna tell me, you're tired, baby, rest. But then after I rest, he's gonna say, did you do what you had to do today?
Mm-hmm.
You already rest, baby. Now you got to do that, because remember, you have a responsibility. So
Yeah.
he's actually, did you set up an alarm? Did you put it on your Google Docs? Did you put, he helps me because he knows that past of my traumas, I have a problem where I have to constantly remind myself with sticky notes. So if I don't do it on a daily basis, it's not going to stay. So I work hard to make sure. So he helps me a lot. But Natalie,
Uh,
even as that, being in a healthy relationship, like you say, setting goals. I want to be I want to be better with my husband this year. I want to spend more time with him. Want to go out as a couple, not just like with the baby and everything, but just me and him. Spend some time, travel, just me and him.
mm-hmm.
Get more time together, and that. And then, like you say, past trauma. I had a thought that told me I did this in my last relationship, and he still cheated on me.
Mm.
You see how that thought just came upon when you was trying to plan
Mm.
a trip in your new relationship, where you're happy, where
Mm-hmm.
everything is going great,
Mm-hmm.
but you didn't heal from that past trauma where you know that other person hurt you.
Yes.
And it's crazy because we will get those thoughts and we
We
will
will.
get those triggers.
Yes.
So we have to learn how to. So I had to stop myself and said, yes, but thank God I'm not with that person no more.
Yes. 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 And this is so cute what Sonia and her husband does. You know, he really is supportive, you know, and I know her husband as well. And they have this thing like he'll check in, honey, are you taking your life back? It is so cute because the name of our organization is She's Taking Her Life Back. So they do that. And he'll even say to Sonia, she said, he'll tell her, I'm taking my life back right now.
Yeah, yeah, I do.
We have enough time. So that I thought that was so cute. I love that part. But yes, your past trauma can affect you. And I want to share this also about the difference, the reason why it's so important for you to do trauma-informed goal as opposed to traditional goals. If you experience trauma, and a lot of times it results in self-limiting belief. There's times that you're not going to reach high enough. When you start thinking about that real goal that you want to achieve, and I can tell you this, you'll know when it's your purpose, when that goal makes you feel nervous, when you start having anxiety because you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. That's your purpose. However, if you have not healed that trauma, or if you don't devise a plan to help you with the goal based on trauma with trauma professionals, it is going to trigger you. It's going to say, you're not worthy of that goal. And it's going to keep reminding you what people in the past may have told you or showed you that you weren't worthy. So I always tell people, past traumas, how should I say it? Even if you're out of the traumatic situation, out of the domestic violence, out of those things, you still can be triggered. You can be triggered by going to a positive place. It doesn't have to be because somebody showed up in your life or something went wrong. It's about going to the next level and what your mind tells you about going to the next level. I'm not worthy. They're not going to accept me. I don't speak like them. I don't operate like them. I'm not. And then we start settling for goals. We settle in a place because, okay, over here I feel comfortable. Over here, I feel comfortable. And I learned years ago, and I used to tell myself, and I remind myself, if you're that person, I used to be that person. Let me speak for me. I used to be that person, like, I felt so comfortable being more knowledgeable than people. Like, that gave me a false sense of esteem. And then I started hearing about, if you're the smartest one in the room, you are in the wrong company. But my trauma didn't allow me to get into the room where people that was going to support me, because that would trigger feelings like I'm not worthy. So I kept myself settling in places where I felt better than. That was a frustration. That was a place of stuck. That was a place of settling. So again, if you go for that purpose that you're really supposed to go to, it can trigger. It can trigger memories. For some people, it can re-traumatize them. So we want to make sure that when you start doing these goals, that we're here on site to help you, to kind of help you, guide you, to say, you know what, this is a great goal. Don't settle. We're going to be here to support you with learning about triggers, learning about coping skills. So if you're feeling this way, we're going to help you learn. We're going to help you learn how to cope. Sonia, in a little while, she's going to go over a skill, one of our skills. We don't have enough time, but she's going to share with you about what she's doing next week regarding that. But we're here on the scene. Also, there's some times that people may choose a goal that they're not ready to do, and they need to really go at it in baby steps. They need a different approach to doing that goal because it's too traumatizing, right? And again, go ahead.
To interrupt you. I have Leela trying to join in to share her vision board, but I tell her I don't see her on. Do you see her on backstage?
Yes, I see her.
Okay.
Hey, Leela. Hey. So that's a prompt for me to kind of move forward. Let's move forward in that, because I want to make sure Leah, who I heard from Sonia, often does vision boards.
Yes.
So let me move through the information I want to share for you. So hopefully right by then you understand what's the difference between a traditional vision board and a trauma-informed vision board, right? And if you don't have clarity on it, just let me know. We can. Well, actually, what you can do is watch this video, watch the replay. All right, because it's important to know that, right? So I want to move and I want to talk about what trauma-informed goals includes, what it entails, right? Trauma-informed goals setting involves, again, recognizing the impact of your past traumatic experience on your present life. Again, like I said, I was talking about considering what happened to you in the past, and is that affecting you from moving forward with your goals, right? We want you to make sure you have that, because see, if you have these traumatic responses because of traumatic past experiences, I want you to know it affects our thoughts, it affects our behaviors, and it affects our emotions, which creates a barrier. It creates challenge for us to strive. So again, if you're wondering why you're not been able to achieve that goal, and you're someone who experienced trauma in the past, I just ask you to continue to have an open mind. You
Mhm.
know, it's important as we go along to begin to identify those triggers. Or Coach Sonia and I will help you identify what those trigger is. It's important to know your triggers. It's important to know how your trauma affected you, how it affects you. It is important because if you're looking through a traumatic experience, it may give you the wrong perception of success. It may give you the wrong perception of failure. And we need to help you reframe your thinking, which means to kind of change the way you think about the same situation so you can move forward,
Mhm.
right? I want to also share with you as we begin the board, that you know that this is a place where you will hear and we will give and share compassion with you. But we also ask you to have compassion for yourself, have patience for yourself as you're setting goals. And just remember, this is not something that's going to happen overnight. It's a process. It's a process. It involves creating goals. It involves making sure those goals that we created align with our values, and make sure as we're doing this that we're doing self-care. We're also we want you to make sure we're going to help you with understanding to give yourself flexibility. For example, my goal last year was to move to Paris in 2023. I'm still here in America. I allowed myself the flexibility of saying, you know what, I need to change the date that I'm moving. Um, Years ago, I would have said, see, you didn't even meet that goal. See, you told everybody that you was moving November 2023 and you didn't even move. Look at you. There you go. You didn't. We start doing that negative script in our head. So allow yourself to be flexible. Like if this particular milestone doesn't happen on this particular date, we can always move the date.
Mhm.
Move the date. So allow yourself flexibility as you're working on setting your goals, right? Um, Again, I want to move down. I have so many notes. Me and Sonia, we were talking yesterday. We had to, again, we always have to cut down the information and
Yes.
want to give so much value, but we just simply can't. We really can't because it's just too much work. A lot of the information that you will get or want to get through us, our coaching program that's happening real soon. You know, their coaching program, we can work on you one-on-one, but it's just too much information. Even if we gave it all, you wouldn't be able to absorb it all in an hour and a half, right? So just stay tuned to our lives each week. We're going to share different parts of the
Absolutely.
traumatic experience to help you reach the goal, right? But today we just wanted to create a vision board party,
Mhm.
right? One
Absolutely.
of also things I want to learn as we move on is as you move through these goals, you're going to find out the areas you need to heal and grow. It'll show up. It'll show up when you start slowing down on your goals. It will show up in different ways that we may help you recognize that you can't recognize yourself. You're going to know that. And at that point, you can tell yourself, okay, this is the area I may need to do some healing work,
Mhm.
right? Sonia, you want to talk about some challenges and triggers a little bit more
Yes.
that may happen?
Yes, absolutely. So, challenges and triggers that might arise in goal setting post trauma. Well, when setting goals post trauma, it's essential to recognize and address potential challenges and triggers that may arise. Traumatic experiences can lead to various emotional, mental, and physical responses that may impact our ability to set and pursue our goals. Okay. So I want you to know that one of the challenges is navigating feelings or fear of self doubt or uncertainty stemming from past traumatic events. These are other emotions that might hinder our confidence in pursuing certain aspirations or even setting goals at all, ladies. And we know that additionally, triggers related to the trauma can resurface during our goal setting process. And when we say this, we say also as a trauma addiction recovery coach, we might believe that because we've been sober for 5, 8, 10 years, we're fine, we're okay. I can just go and sit at the bar and everything's because I've done it before. But we don't know what if we going through a traumatic experience like the loss of some loved one, or you ended up breaking in your relationship, and you have that hurt or that pain that's bringing you past traumas, and you're sitting here, it might not be the same. So we have to make sure we see those red flags and we see those triggers, okay?
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
very important. So certain situations, such or events, are well intentions for goal settings exercises may evoke distress or anxiety. So I just want to say there are so much more that I would love to share, like but Natalie said. So there is so much more I would like to share, but I cannot due to the time. But if you're interested in learning more about other challenges and triggers, let me tell you this: tune in to our next week's live,
Yes.
where
Yes.
I will be discussing that very same topic. Which, let me tell you what my topic for next week is going to be. Very interested. So it's going to be navigating setbacks and overcoming obstacles. So that is going to be our next week's topic. So tune in, please, because there is so much more we want to share. There is so much information we want to give. But like I say, an hour and a half is not enough. Sometimes we make an hour because we don't want to keep you all also, but I think there is so much information that we are here to share with you. Also, take advantage of all this free information. And remember, we do have worksheets, we do have coaching packages. If you're interested, go ahead and take advantage of that. I know Natalie got some deals going on right now, so just make sure you inbox and let us know. But take advantage of them work.
Yes.
They are for a little cost for the worksheets, and I know she has workbooks too, but those are one of the tools I started using at the beginning before I became a trauma addiction recovery coach. We need these tools in order to break free from them, self-limited beliefs, self-sabotage, in order to be able to find our purpose and say, you know what, I'm free from addiction. I've lost 13 years of my life in addiction. Now I just want to make it better with my family. So I'm going to stay home and raise my grandchildren. That is not what I want. I still want to travel. I still want to be somebody else in life. I want to be my own boss, like Natalie says. I don't want to settle for less just because I feel like it's not the end of the world. I still have aspirations and I have dreams and I have goals and I want to be able to fulfill them. And I think that so do you all. You all deserve to be where you want to be, not where anybody tells you you're retired because the government says you're retired. Natalie says, hell no. Yeah, I'm retired until I say I'm retired. I'm gonna keep
That's right.
money and I'm
Yeah.
taking that money and I'm keeping moving.
That's right. So, but we can share one of the challenges that happens, and one of the challenges that happens is when people have fear, and they begin to avoid achieving their goals. And what happens a lot of times is because, again, like I said, it triggers a response when you start reaching goals, and some of those responses can cause high anxiety. Some of them can cause you to feel panic. Anybody ever had a panic attack? It can cause distress, and that's what makes it challenging to stay focused or committed. Um, we're gonna have a question to ask you in a moment. You know what? I'm asking now.
Go ahead and put it so they'll have time to answer
Yeah.
that question. Yes.
Yes. The question I have for you is I want you to think back to the last time you were trying to achieve a goal that you were not able to complete.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. How did that work out? What happened that you did not achieve that goal? Did you tell yourself you was too busy?
Mm-hmm.
Did you procrastinate? Did you sabotage? Was that goal that you wanted to achieve so big for you that you were afraid not only to tell other people, to admit it to yourself? Or did you tell yourself, there's just no way that you can achieve that goal? There's just no way. Let me give you an example ago. When I was counseling in group, someone in group said that they want to become a millionaire, right? Then someone else in the group said, there is no way in heaven you can become a millionaire. That's going to take forever. That's not going to happen. That response right there is based on a belief system that kept him thinking it wasn't possible. Because particularly now in the world of social media and people coming up with different businesses based on their purpose, it is so possible to become that. But it's not going to happen. Sonia and I was talking about the other night.
Yes.
It's not going to happen like in 30 days. It's not. But you can get started on a road and complete this one goal, right? And then you complete the next goal and then the next goal. And this path can lead you to become a millionaire. But what happens to a lot of people is that they don't believe it's possible because maybe they've never seen anybody around them become a millionaire, or they have this wrong thinking about millionaire, or they just don't think it's possible. And if somebody achieved $1 million status, they're thinking, oh, they must have scammed something. It is very much possible. Very much possible. But we have to change our limited thinking. We have to dare to think big with support, because again, it can trigger you, but it's possible in a step-by-step process. So I wanted to share that some of the challenges that we have when we talk about creating our goals, the anxiety that our body experiences, and it's too intolerable that we stop the process. But here, as she's taking life back, we learn to cope with that process, right? So if you had a goal in the past that you were trying to achieve, feel free, and we would love you to put it in the chat. Like, this is the goal that I wanted to achieve, and I didn't achieve it because. And fill that blank in and put it in the chat, right? You never know when we will talk about that more in depth. If we hear from our viewers to say, this is the issue that I have that we're not talking about, we'll talk about that issue. We'll create a live around that issue. Right? So that's just one. Like Sonia said, tune in next week to her live, because she's going to talk about the challenges and triggers more in depthly.
Absolutely.
All right. So I'm trying to move along. I mean, I have so much stuff. But as I'm moving along, I just wanted to let y'all know that I started like cutting out a couple of my goals while Sonia was talking. Again, I may not be able to put it on my board, my giant board over here, but it's going on. Maybe not tonight. But I want to share some of my personal goals with you that I'm going to achieve in 2024. I've also changed the way I speak. I don't say I might. I don't say maybe, possibility. I'm going to achieve, right? Because one of the things I've learned about goals, that they have to be SMART goals. And if you've never heard of SMART goals, the SMART goals, let it stand for an acronym. Like, the goal has to be specific. It just can't say, oh, I want to travel. You have to say and put it on your vision board, I want to travel to Belize. I want to travel to Paris. And get more. And when you work with someone like us, and Sonia and I, we're going to say to you, put a date on it. Put a date on it. Sometimes people just too general because the anxiety creeps up and they're so afraid to say, I want to go here on this date. Like I did with me. If it doesn't happen on this date, give yourself the flexibility to say, goals not changing. I'm just changing the date. Right? So one of my things I cut out from my book is multiple streams of income. Because I'm on that path to become a millionaire, right? That's my goal. But I do understand that you have to have multiple streams of income to make it there. That's one of the ways. You can't focus on one thing and expect to become a millionaire. But you have multiple streams. Most millionaires, just about all of them, have multiple streams. And I think they at least have 7, I believe. 7. So I'm working on that 2024. May not be 7, but I'm working on having multiple, right? The other thing I cut out with money, abundance. I'm not going to share it, but I have a specific dollar goal I want She's Taking Life Back coaching programs to produce in 2024. And it's broken down into quarters, right? So that's my goal, right? Another one I cut out was love. It is my goal, like I said, to date. And there was different pictures with love. They had a picture where the lady and the man was at a restaurant, the man kissing on her, hugging. I picked this one. Let me show you the picture, ladies. I picked this one.
Go up, 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 right
Get
there.
there. Okay.
Perfect.
The reason why I picked this one is because I want to be with a man. Like I pretty much know, you meet somebody, you're gonna go out to dinner, right? You're gonna do those things. But I also want the man of my life to be able to have fun and act silly with me. That is so important to me. I want my inner child to be able to come out. I don't always want to be like, let's sit at a restaurant, let's eat. I want to get crazy with my man. Look, that's why I picked that one. That is so important to me. Like I wanted my man us to be able to have fun. That's important, right? So that's another one that I picked. And I think I kind of stopped there because I jumped on. I'll be still cutting out from my book. Again, this is the book that I'm cutting out from as we move along. Here's where I'm going to ask Sonia to share with you one of the mindfulness and grounding techniques that you can do if one of your triggers show up. We've done this before. Not a lot of people think it works, but it does if it's done properly. And that's breathing exercise. So Sonia, can you take a moment to show them when you're feeling anxious and when you're feeling nervous in your body, there's things that you can do to calm it. So go ahead, Sonia.
So I want to share this. I think we share, like I said, if you go back to our lives, you're going to see us using this a lot, and it's very helpful, but you just have to take the time to do it the right way. Yes. So whenever you feel anxiety creeping, your palms are sweating, you feel like you're hyperventilating, stop. You got to take a deep breath. You got to hold and release. So let's do that again. And we continue doing this until we feel that we start regulating. You can feel the air in your brain. You can feel everything, the calmness in your body. You can feel like everything starts regulating. And it really helps stop your anxiety. It really helps calm you down. And I use this a lot mostly when I go to sleep. I don't know why. I lay down and then and my husband be like, "What's wrong, baby? I can't sleep. I'm closing my eyes, but I can't sleep. I already prayed. I already did this. I can't sleep. Why are you anxious? Why are you okay?" And he'll just hold me and say, breathe with me. And he'll count with me. He'll be like, hold. So it really works. It really works. So just try it. That's one of them. And we just want to share one because we say time. We still have our guests and we still want to share more stuff with y'all. And I still want to share my goals. But I want to wait for our guest. After my guest, I will share my 3 goals, Natalie, that I will be working since I wasn't able to bring my board due to my moving. And, I can't drive at this moment. I'm trying to work in some of my situations, so I'm not driving. I'm going to have to be having my husband drive me to work, taking the baby out of the house in this cold weather and this rainy days and coming to pick me up. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult, but it ain't stopping nothing.
All right. Before we bring on our guests, I actually want to give you some of the steps to take when we talk about creating our trauma-informed vision board. So now is the time let's get started to create it. Like one of the things that we want you to know firsthand is that when you create your goal, we want you to be really thoughtful about it. Really be intentional about the goal that you're going to choose, right?
Be right here.
Yes, thank you. My big old board. We also want you to make sure you start with creating a safe and comfortable space. We want you to feel secure and free from potential triggers as much as you can. So that space may be you doing it by yourself or doing it with a trusted friend, or actually grabbing your vision board and your supplies, even if you don't have it now, and then rewatch our video. This could be that safe space for you. But it's really important also to make sure that you're not doing around someone that's going to discourage you from achieving that goal or tell you tried that goal before, it didn't work then, right? We don't want anything to discourage you. So make sure that it is a safe environment. What you can do is play soothing music. You can involve some calming scents. Just create that atmosphere to get your mind going. And then I want you to gather materials, right? Yeah. So the materials you need are your vision board.
The vision board is right here.
Open the whole thing. I want to see your X down here. Sonia came down to help.
I came over here because I want to be left. I felt lonely down there with no vision board.
But this is my big old vision board, right?
Natalie, she went the extra mile. I swear.
I'm extra. I'm not gonna allow anybody to tell me I can't be extra. I used to hide it no more, right? Also, you want to get again is you want to get also some magazines. You see this stack of magazines? What's your stack, Sonia, of magazines? Oh, there it is. These are just half of Sonia's magazines that she has here. So you grab, these are all Sonia's magazines that she's doing a vision board with. So grab your magazines, and you. So you want to grab that. If you're like me and you don't have magazines, I grabbed this again on Amazon. I bought this one that has clippings of different sections. So you want to grab that. You want to make sure you have some scissors. You want to be able to cut it out, right? You also want to make sure that you have, where we at? You want to have some tape. Now I have these little dots that I'm going to put behind these pictures to stick it on the board. You want to make sure you have that. Those are some of the materials that you want to have present, right?
I'm back.
I love being at this house with Sonia, right? Also, you want to make sure that you also use words. It doesn't all have to be pictures. Like in this page right here is wording. Mm-hmm. So you can get pictures, you can put words under the pictures. You can just use pictures if you can't, use words or quotes if you can't find pictures. Mm-hmm. Like this one says, what is this? I like this one. I accept myself as I am. Took me years to get there. I spent years trying to be like someone else. Today, I accept myself as I am. So if you're somebody who wants to work on that goal to improve in that area, you get something like that, right? Yeah. Good things are flowing in my life. I am worthy of love and happiness. I am worthy.
Absolutely.
Right. So you also want to use quotes as well. Right. The next thing what you want to do is that you want to focus on feelings and sensations. Right. Instead of worrying about the outcome, concentrate on the feelings and sensations that you want to experience. Mm-hmm. I don't know if anybody heard that I follow a lot of other people, great influences in the trauma world and even in the mindset world and healing world. And they always say, don't always just write down your goal, but visualize yourself being there. Like, what will you feel when you're there? What will you be feeling? So, for example, one of my goals is to reach a dollar amount. And I had that specific amount that I want to reach. And I pictured myself walking into our team meeting, right? And showing my team our books that says we achieved that financial goal, right? And I'm feeling, even now as I'm talking about it, because I've done it so often, that I feel like chills going through my body right now. Those are the sensations that I'm feeling. I am feeling happy. I'm feeling excited. Because when you start visualizing it, your body is going to experience the feeling. You don't have to wait till it happens. Anybody has known about manifestation, that's some of the things that they tell you to do. Be present in it right now, even before it happens. But we're going to talk more about that later. But start feeling the sensations. Don't just think about the goal. How are you going to feel when you achieve that goal? Have that feeling right now, right? You also want to arrange your material thoughtfully on your vision board. There's no right or wrong way, but you want to organize them in a way that feels more meaningful to you. Right? There's no right or wrong, how it's meaningful to you, right? You may prefer to do it in a chronological order. You may say, I want to put the goal I'm going to accomplish in January 1st, then February 1st, then March next. You might want to do it there, or you might want to do it in themes. Like, this is all I want to accomplish in the summer. This is all I want to accomplish in the winter. You decide how that's going to look for you, right? And once your vision board is created, I want you to set aside time for reflection, right? Before I go further into that, Sonia's going to bring up our guest, because she is going to share her vision board and tell us about her experience with vision boards. So do you want to introduce her, Sonia?
Yes, you're going to bring her up. This is Layla Banks, Miss Layla Banks.
Yes. Hey, Layla.
Hey, hey. I'm gonna say this. That is my aunt. That is my husband aunt. So she is my husband's aunt. That makes her my aunt. So
Yes.
and every time when I went to visit her, I was speaking about, do you have any magazines? Because we're doing a vision board party. And she said, yeah, girl, have you seen my vision board? I've seen the one from last year, from the year before. And I was like,
Wow.
your vision boards every year. And I
Awesome.
was like, that is someone I would like to bring in. So, hi, good night, Lila. Thank you for joining us tonight. And she's taking her life back. YouTube
Hey, Layla.
live.
Hi, how are you?
Well, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Good, good.
Oh, Lila, would you like to share your vision board with us? Would you like to show us your vision board and talk to us a little bit about your vision board, what your goals are?
Sure.
That's awesome. She does it every year.
Every year.
That is awesome.
I don't know if you can see this.
Oh, we can see. I see the cruise right there. I've been wanting to
Right
watch.
back in the middle. Can you put a little bit closer, Layla, to the camera? Okay. Oh, well, okay.
Okay.
This is actually my third vision board. And I started doing vision boards a while ago because I am a member of a women's support group called Power to Exhale.
Oh, all right.
We are over 200 and some thousand strong,
Hmm.
and we're all over the country. But we get together and we're actually getting ready to do another vision board. I started actually doing vision boards without even knowing it was a vision board, probably early in my life. I actually wrote my goals down as to where I wanted to be at a certain point in my life. When I was younger, I decided that at age 55, I was going to retire.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually wrote it down and put it on my refrigerator. Things that I wanted to accomplish
Mm-hmm.
in so many years. But life happened.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that we have to realize is that while we are creating goals, life will happen.
Mm-hmm.
Life can happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I like when you said you can be flexible.
Yes.
Flexible enough to change those dates.
Mm-hmm.
Not
That's right.
lose sight of it, but just to change the date.
Yes.
It took me a long time to accomplish a lot of my goals, my first goals. But at the end, and Sonia's husband, I raised him.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that he always told me, I still have it on my refrigerator today. He said, Auntie, he said, do you realize that you accomplished all of your goals?
Wow.
And I said, yeah. He
Wow.
said, I remember that when I was a little boy. You had that on your refrigerator.
Wow.
And he said, I was looking at it and you've accomplished all of your goals.
Wow.
Well,
Awesome.
one of the things that I am is a visionary. I
Mm-hmm.
see
Mm-hmm.
things. I see things before they actually occur. And I feel that if I can see myself doing it, then I can achieve it.
Yeah.
That's my mindset. With my latest vision board, there were a lot of things that kept me, and I enjoyed your actually, I have enjoyed just listening to you all. There were a lot of things that kept me from accomplishing some of those goals. I had experiences with family, just things in life, and it
Mm-hmm.
brought me to a complete standstill.
Mm-hmm.
But I have not lost sight of it.
That's right.
I'm
Yeah.
still going to accomplish
Mm-hmm.
those goals.
Yes.
And what I tell a lot of people, you have to see yourself in the future.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my main things that I always tell myself. See yourself in the future.
Yeah.
You know, not just in the present moment, but in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to instill this in my children, in my friends. By the way, I'm 67 years old, and
Yes.
I
Awesome.
She looks beautiful.
you know, I've done quite a lot in my life. I've traveled the United States of America. I've been to like 3 countries. But there are still a lot of things, and a lot of it was work related. But there are still a lot of things I want to do in my personal life
Yes.
that I'm just getting the opportunity to just look at these things and to try to bring them to the forefront. having a vision board to me can help you in so many ways, especially when you're going through something. And you always speaking about trauma. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Having a vision board can give you a sense of just a positive mindset, just feeling good
Yeah.
about things that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And it also, it makes you feel a little bit more healthier. It
Mm-hmm.
gets you out of your own way.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we get in our own way.
Mhm.
So by putting together a vision board, you kind of form it in your mind first, and you see these things happen,
Absolutely.
and then it gives you that adrenaline. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel happy,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just so happy because I have always said to myself, if I can't do anything for anybody, then there's no use for me here on this earth. And one of the things that I have on my board, I want to continue to be kind to people because that's one of the things that I do. I try to see myself in that person's shoes, or I try to
Mm-hmm.
see that person going through, and I put myself in that person's shoes. I'm like, okay, how would I deal with this? And so, therefore, if I see someone that's hungry, I try to feed them. If I see somebody that needs my help, I try to give it to them within reason.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and the vision board helps me to stay grounded. It keeps me grounded. I On one of the things on my vision board is that I choose happy.
Mm-hmm.
I choose happy, and
Yes. Yes.
I choose joy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I choose to be strong,
Mm-hmm.
and I always and on here. I don't know if you can see this, but I have something on my vision board that say "Not today, Satan."
All right, that's what I'm talking about. Not today. Yes.
A lot of times we will come up against things in our life,
Mm-hmm.
and we have to take a stand and say, not today, Satan.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I believe that once you speak something, then it becomes real. And that's one of the things that I keep on my vision board. I choose to be well. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I choose to exercise when it's necessary. Most of my goals are for health purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, my spirituality is very important to me, so I keep it
Yes.
as a
Mm-hmm.
part of my vision board.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and one of the other things that I have is that you should do whatever brings you joy, however that looks,
Mm-hmm.
then you should do that. And there's nothing wrong with you saying no. It took me a long time to say no to
Mm-hmm.
people, to situations. And I had to tell myself at some point, Leela, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can say no. That is on my vision board.
Awesome.
There's nothing
Wow, I
wrong with
like I
saying
like
no.
that. Awesome.
Um,
Wow.
uh, and as long as you can visualize yourself, if you're unhealthy, then visualize yourself becoming healthy. If you are broke, don't have any money, visualize yourself making that $1 million that you
Yes.
speak about.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
if you decide that you've had enough of a situation and you're saying no more,
Mm-hmm.
visualize yourself being happy in the decision that you made for yourself,
Yes.
not looking back,
Mm-hmm.
going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it took me a long time to get there.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a very long time. But I can't say today that I am there. I have nothing against me telling myself, Leela, not today. You're not going to do that today. If I choose not to answer the phone, I don't answer the
Mm.
phone because I feel that my mental health is far greater than whatever it is that person has to say to me on the other
Yes.
side of that phone.
Mm-hmm.
You, Leila. I want to say that, and it is very true because we talked about this a lot, and I tell the ladies like me, as a person who experienced addiction due to my past traumas, as a trauma response, I always said there was a lot of family members that cost me a lot of my that came, about deal with my trauma.
Right.
And when I decided to go through this recovery this time, when I knew this was working, and I felt different being away from all that. I have to take a stand and tell my other family members, I'm sorry,
Yes.
but I can't
Yes.
be near this person. I can't be near this person. I can't have this person near. I did it before because I hadn't healed and I had all that. And every time I did it and they came over to parties, to get-togethers, and this person would hug you and kiss you like, hey, how you doing, niece? How you doing? Whatever. And you have to put up with that because all the families there,
Yes.
um,
Yes.
but
Yes.
now I'm grown and now I know that it was wrong, that it was breaking me. And now I have that strength to say, no, you're not welcome in my life.
Right.
So thank you for saying that because
Absolutely.
that
Right.
is
That was
very
good.
important. So I
Yeah,
have
that
a
was good.
question for you, Lila. I have a question for you before. Oh, she left. Where'd she go?
Now I'm here.
Here she
Oh,
go.
I have
Mhm.
one question for you before you leave, and I want to say thank you. I know Natalie want to say thank you so much for everything you shared tonight.
Mhm.
I know we're a little bit
I
short,
have a question also for you.
and but I want to know what goals from your 2023 vision board which ones did you achieve out of your goals, and which one were you not able to achieve on 2023?
Okay. Well, I wasn't able to choose accomplish my cruise yet.
Okay, I thought you had gone to your cruise. I think you were somewhere. Somebody was in a cruise. Ronald told me. I thought it was you, but I'll,
No,
I'll ask
no,
him.
no, but that is an accomplishment this year.
Okay.
That I have moved forward to this year. And I was able to travel. Exercise is another one that I've kind of put to the wayside, and I know that I should get
Mm.
moving.
Mm-hmm.
So this year, starting 2024, every day that I get up now, when I come into the kitchen, I do squats. I may do something, something that deals with exercise.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because I realize that I've got to exercise in order
Yeah,
to keep my body healthy.
absolutely. Yeah.
Um, and I think that's basically the only one that I really haven't accomplished is the cruise.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
cruise.
Wow, that's awesome.
Um,
Something I'm going to say before I ask my question, Leela. I love how you put your goal for your feelings on your board.
Correct.
I love that. I love that. So, ladies, if you're out there, like, because growing up, I was like, I want to accomplish this, I want to obtain this. And then I realized those goals, I love those things, but that wasn't the real goal I wanted to achieve. Honestly, the goal I wanted to achieve was to be happy,
Right.
to be truly happy. Because I don't care how much things you have. If you don't have joy, like you mentioned, Layla,
Right.
they're not going to make you happy.
That's right.
Because when you get into bed at night, you're out of your car that you bought. You don't see your house because you're in your bed and you laying there. You don't have all the fabulous clothes on. All you have is you. And
Right.
how do you feel at that moment?
Right.
I want to feel joy when I'm laying there.
Yep.
All said and done, I want to feel joy. I want to know that even though those things leave, I'm
Yes.
still happy. So I love how you did it. And I
Yes.
definitely love the no. It took me years to get there too, to understand no is the complete answer. Because I went from no
Right.
to explaining why I said no. Today it's like, no,
Right.
no,
Right.
no.
Right.
And some people may get offended for it, but you know what? For me, it's my value. And if you love
Yes.
me enough or care for my value, even if you don't agree with it,
Right.
even if it's
Right.
different from yours. So I love that. But my one question is this: out of all the vision boards that you've done, is there anything that you accomplished that when you did accomplish it, you sat back and like, cannot believe I actually accomplished this? Like when you put it on your board, you were like, I'm putting it on there, but something behind you said, I don't know if I ever accomplished it, but you did.
Right. One of my dreams, and their dreams are like goals, was to have a Mercedes. That was one
All
of my
right.
number one goals and dreams, and that was way back when I was maybe in my teens. I'm not sure. I put it down on my original goal sheet, and it took me, I would say, up until I retired in order to be able to get that Mercedes.
Mm-hmm.
And once I got that Mercedes and I looked at that and I was like, wow, I didn't get the one that I really wanted,
Mm-hmm.
but the fact that I was able to get one,
Yeah.
it made my heart feel so good,
Mm-hmm.
because I set my mindset on that and I set my eyes on that and I knew that I was going to get it, but it was
Mm-hmm.
just a matter of when.
Awesome.
And so that's one of the things that I have accomplished, that I put down. And it just makes me feel that by doing that, then if I set my mind to it, I'm
Mm-hmm.
able to do anything,
Yeah.
anything that I've set my mind to.
Awesome. 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 Awesome.
And I'm going to say this, my battery is dying. So if I should leave you all.
Thank you for coming.
So
And lastly, I love the fact that you said that you're 67 and you
Correct.
still got goals to achieve. Thank
Yeah.
you for saying that, because I'm 61, right?
Okay.
And it's hard for me to be around women my age or even men my age. And there's nothing wrong with retirement, but like, what are you going to do after retirement? Because
Correct.
that would be a good time to say, now I can fulfill my dreams.
Correct.
But
And
when
the reason why I'm still working on my goals, because when I said that life happened, I ended up actually having to take in my sister who's disabled
okay.
about 5 years ago.
Yes.
That was not a part of my plan.
Mm-hmm.
That's just something that happened and I had to step into that role.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still trying to figure out a way that I can do some things that I want to do, that I've dreamed of doing, with her being with me.
There you go. That's the thought I like, because someone else who has a different thought, they can say, oh, now I can't accomplish those goals because now I have the situation.
Correct.
You're saying I'm going to accomplish these goals even with the situation.
Correct.
Love it.
Correct.
Love it. Love it. Love
I
it.
enjoy you ladies, and I will tune in again.
All right. Thank you, ladies, so much.
I learned a lot from just listening to you all.
Thank you so much. That's what we're here for. So join us. I'm gonna be talking about obstacles and setbacks next Wednesday. It's gonna be great. So tune in.
All right, will do. And it's good meeting you, Natalie.
Nice meeting you, Layla.
Okay, y'all have a good night.
Evening. All right, good night.
Bye-bye.
Oh, wow. She was great, Sonia. Wow.
Yes, I know. I learned a lot from her this year. She's been very another support system for me. Another, even through situations. When I began my relationship with my husband, also remember I had all my past experience. Even when I had my breakdown, she had to actually speak to my husband and say, "You gotta understand, this woman's been through a lot. She came from a home, so you gotta understand and see." And she was very understanding. She never mistreated me. She never looked at me down, knowing I had 8 children before I met my husband. Nothing was judgmental with her. She's very open, loving, and very sincere, and I love that about her. But she is a woman that has experienced trauma. She is a woman that has overcome. She's a woman. So I love that about her, because she got the experience, that resilience, Natalie.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. I love the fact that, then she said, your husband said, wow, you accomplished all of your goals on your vision board. Wow. Wow. 67 and still doing it. Look, you're never too old. Don't buy into it's too late. Do not buy. Like she said, we got to be healthier. We got to exercise and eat right. But I still have a whole lot of goals to achieve. Look, I'm going after my big Sonia. So Sonia, can you share some of your goals?
Okay, well, I'm gonna share 3 of my main goals. I think if y'all go by we always say, if y'all go back to our live on New Year's, I share my goals, which I'm gonna set them in the order that I have them, because me and my husband did it as I have goals of my own, but these are the most important to me right now because it means everything. This is like my plan for everything that I want to accomplish in 2024 and beyond 2024. So the first one was time management. So time management, I want to implement time blocking techniques to allocate a specific periods for coaching, family, and personal time as well. So I want to consider delegating and outsourcing tasks like my job, free up time, and my coaching clients also being on the YouTube, which is taking her life back, as well as with my family. So I want to manage my time. So right now I'm doing a great job, but it's not perfect. I still think I can manage a little bit more. So I want to sit down, get my notebook, and start writing and breaking it down and putting it also, Natalie,
Mhm.
in my calendar that I told you my husband brought me, my little calendar.
Yes, yes.
Put it right there. So I want to start working on things like that, because a lot of times I miss one or I forget, and then I said I'll get back to it, and I don't. So I want to make sure I manage my time more properly and better, which is gonna fall with my other goals, which is
Mhm.
financial planning. I want to set
Great
clear
one.
financial targets for my coaching business, including revenue goals and
Mhm.
savings for traveling as well. I want to
Yes.
explore passive income opportunities related to my coaching expertise, such as creating digital products or online courses. So we want to get them. She's taking her live back t-shirts out there.
Yes.
I don't know. I want to give me a she's taking her life back coffee mug, because I'm a coffee drinker every
Yeah,
morning.
we can do
I
that
want to give
too.
me my mug. So I've
Yeah.
been thinking a lot about that. But we are going to be having some of those me and Natalie already spoke about. But that my mind is on that too. We also need to bring in that income so we can continue coaching
Yes.
and taking the message out to you all ladies, out to the
Yes.
world. We want
Yes.
to continue doing that. And I also want to be able to say, okay, today I can take a break from my job. I can take a break to spend some time with my family as well and travel, because that's my last goal, travel and family time.
Hmm.
So
Awesome.
I'm going to create a travel bucket list with my family, and we want to plan at least 2 to 3 trips a year, and we want to put the designation, a specific designation. We
Hmm.
want to put the specific dates, the activities we want to do, and we want to ensure the quality time together. So yes, we're planning a in the country trip, one out of the country trip, and another in country trip. So it's we already working on it. So we working on it, but that's those are my goals for 2023, and I mean 2024, I'm sorry, and I'm gonna do my best to achieve my goals, and we'll see how we be doing, because we're gonna bring y'all, another year will come, and we'll be able to share and say what we
Yes.
was able to accomplish and
Absolutely.
everything.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Those are great goals. I like. We have similar goals. I like the time management goal. That's something I'm working on. Let me share. I didn't finish my board. Of course, I wasn't going to finish it, but when Layla came on, I'm like, I stopped everything because she had great things to say. But I'm going to share with you. It just popped in my head because you're going to see our boards completed. Um, like I said, I shared the financial goal. I shared that. I shared I want to find my Mr. Right. I'm looking through this book. One of the goals, and it's in here. Um, where is it? 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 Definitely to work out. I used to work out a great deal, and I had stopped. Like during COVID, it's like when I gained the most weight. I lost weight and I gained it back. So that's definitely one of my goals, to lose 30 pounds. Um, I am a pescatarian, so I really eat relatively healthy. It's the sweets that gets me. So I'm learning to use like smoothies, some healthy fruits, to give me that sweet taste. So that's one thing. My goal is to lose 30 pounds. Definitely spirituality is really important for me. I pray regularly, but I want to increase my spirituality. I definitely want to do that. Um, Definitely, Tim, this is what I was looking for. Everybody knows I talk about it, and I have a video on the channel, and I got to do more videos about going to Paris. So if I don't move, which I am going to move, regardless, my feet will be touching the ground in Paris. I do plan on taking what do they call that? A fact-finding trip to Paris. I'm not just going to move without seeing it. So I'm going to definitely visit Paris this year. I finally got my passport in 2023. I have a friend, doesn't live in Paris, France, but he lives in France. He's helping me learn to speak the language, which is another goal, learn the language of France, enough just to get around. But I'm definitely going to Paris just to see what's out there, put my eyes on it, figure out where I want to move. Definitely doing that. One of the things I want to do is take a solo trip. I want to take a trip by myself. I've never done that. Layla mentioned cruise. I went on my first cruise last year, but I want to go on a cruise by myself. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to stop here. But the idea I have for the vision board, Sonia, and what do you think? I know you're going to be on board for that. When we complete our vision board, because Sonia said you're going to see ours, we can post it in the learning lounge.
Yes. Yes.
For those who don't know, actually, Sonia because Sonia manages our Facebook site. Can you tell us about the learning lounge and how we can post and how people join and post theirs if they decide to create it?
Absolutely. We are on Facebook. It's called She's Taking Her Life Back, the Learning Lounge. You would have to follow us on Facebook. Look for She's Taking Her Life Back. You will see a picture of Natalie on, where you find. So make sure you send an invite as soon as Natalie or me see the invite. We will accept your invite. So once you're in our invite, you will be part of our Learning Lounge. What you call it, Natalie? The inner circle. It's like an inner circle as well.
Yeah, it's a private group.
Yeah, it's a private group, and there everything you share there is private. It's just the women that are in our group. But yes, you will get all the information. You can also we have She's Taking Her Life Back. I think Natalie's Facebook page was hacked a while back, but we're working on the new just personal open Facebook. She's Taking Her Life Back. But ladies, remember, send us the link. We'll let you join our Facebook page in the Learning Lounge. Also, if you follow me on Facebook, if you follow Mindset Coach Natalie, just know that you're going to see all the posts and everything coming up. If you want, you can always share your email with us through our message, our private chat. Send us your email, and we will send you emails with all the events we have coming up, all of our YouTube lives, the newsletter, everything that has to be doing, which is Taking Her Life Back, what we're doing, what we're planning, what are our plans, what are our goals for the month. So come on, ladies, join us. Remember, if you are watching from our Facebook Live, remember to go to the YouTube. Remember to subscribe.
Yes, ladies.
Like button. We want you to be part of this community.
Yes. And the link is actually on our YouTube channel. Right on the banner, I placed the link. So if you click in on that, you'll get to the group, and Sonia will let you in the private group. And that's where we're going to actually post our completed vision board. Yes. So you'll see it. It started to oversee TikTok, but Sonia posts on TikTok as well. We're going to post our vision boards on TikTok. So know that you will see our completed vision board. If you're watching the replay, still have time, do your vision board. Join our group. Again, click the link on the banner on our YouTube channel. Come in and post your vision board. We would love to see what you come up with. And just so you know, when you go into a learning lounge, it's a private group, you don't have to have open conversation. Means you don't have to respond to posts. We have a lot of ladies that don't respond to posts, but they're receiving the information that we put in there. So you can feel free to do that, or share, comment, reach out to Sonia, and post your vision board. You're going to see ours, right? As we're ending, I want to give you some questions to prompt you into what to think about as you're thinking about goals. So one of the questions I have is, what do you want to achieve this year? What is it that you want to achieve? Not in 2 years, not in 5 years. What do you want to achieve in 2024, right? And like Layla said, how do you envision your life? How do you envision it? Put yourself there. Don't be afraid to say, this is where I'm going to be at the end of the year. And then what brings you joy? She mentioned that. What brings you joy? What brings you fulfillment? So maybe those questions can get you started into thinking about what your goal may be. Because Sonia and I would love to hear about what your goals are, because vision boards are so powerful. And they're not only powerful, they're very artistic. So you can get as creative as you want. They encapsulate your dreams, your aspirations, your goals, all of that in one board that you can keep in front of you to remind you to stay focused on your goal. And again, we have so much more to share as we end. Sonia, anything you want to say before we say so long for this week?
Yes. Before we leave, I just want to say I want to thank Layla Banks again. And I
Yes.
want to tell all our viewers, for those that weren't able to be in our live or are in the background and too shy to make a comment, I just want to say that your participation, commitment, and openness to personal growth have been incredibly inspiring. I want to extend my deepest gratitude to each of you for being an integral part of this transformative session. Support one another and foster nurturing environment for growth and empowerment. Thank you for bringing your unique perspective and contributions
Yes.
also to our community. Your dedication and personal growth is commendable, and we are truly grateful to have you and you all's empowering journey, and continue supporting each other as we strive and triumph and through fulfillment.
Right. And before we go, I just want you to remind you that I posted a live, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and I included a free worksheet. This is regarding an accountability partner. One of the things we didn't talk about this on this live, have an accountability partner as you go through creating your vision board. If you don't have one, have an accountability partner for all the things that we come up with. It's so important. But if you're interested in learning what accountability partner is and obtain that free worksheet so it can help guide you into selecting who should be your accountability partner, how you go about finding them, take a look at that live. Again, the link in the description will take you to that vision board. And like Sonia says, we are beginning this year with some new workbooks for sale, worksheets for sale, which are really in depth because we have a wealth of information that we never get to on each live that we're going to put together and package it in a workbook and a worksheet. But if you're somebody who really wants to dig down deep and really wants support of coaching one-on-one, look for the wait list because I've developed a coaching program that's going to help you to do a lot of the things that we talked about tonight. So look for that, So I just want to share that. And don't forget to subscribe, share the channel,
Hit that
tell
like
someone
button.
about it. Help us grow
Hit
this.
that like button.
Yes, hit the like, hit the notification button to notify you when we do our lives and our videos.
Share to somebody that might benefit from this live. Share, ladies.
Yes,
Share.
yes. Have a good night, ladies.
Thank you.
All right, Sonia.
Good night, Natalie.
Good